All right, so you might come across music that has a time signature that says 3/4, 2/4. It changes, or else it has a time signature that is less than 4/4. In other words, each measure, like hypothetically, wouldn't be able to fit a whole note. So if I were to, let's see what happens if I try to put a whole note in here. I can't even do it. So here, I'll copy this note and I'll try and slam it into this measure. You see what happens is they actually create more. It's like, oh, there's too much notes. We're going to have a run into the other measure here. We're going to talk about some of the stuff that just happened there later. But you'll notice that for some reason, you still can fit that whole note rest in each measure. So the whole note rest we know is 4 beats, right? So what's the deal? How come it can fit into the 3 and the 2 without a problem, but the whole note can't? And the quick answer is that whole note rests can also just be thought of as whole measure rests, and it's just quicker and easier to read. It's just when you come across it, just think, I'm just going to be quiet for this whole measure. Just like if you're in 4/4 time, I'm going to be quiet for this whole measure. I'm going to be quiet for this whole measure. In 3/4 time, you're still going to be quiet for only 3 beats, only 3/4 notes worth of time. But you just use this instead of having, if you were to do this with like, so for instance, if I were to put a half note and a quarter note, this is the rests that we would see to fill up this measure. And it's just you don't need all that information. We can get away with just having this. We all can read this. It's not bad, and it just makes it easier for us to read. So if you see this in 3/4 or 2/4 or any time, it just means you're quiet for the whole measure.